I can't love you more. I can't love you. Took me for granted, so baby, be gone. I can't love you, no. I can't love you no more. I can't love you. Took me for granted, so baby, be gone.
Hey, what's going on? It's your girl, TampaMystic, and we are live on the industry's most wanted Hype Me Up Knowledge podcast.
Industry's most wanted.
That way, man. Shout out Givenchy Royal. He's always bringing the superstars in the building. Man, she's so beautiful too. I was over here admiring her red hair and her she giving red brows, all that. What's up, baby? How are you?
I'm good. How are you?
Good. Yeah, she is. She's a whole vibe, and she's projecting good energy. Introduce yourself.
Hi, everybody. My name is Madaí ChaKell. I'm an entertainer. I pretty much do a lot of different things, but yeah.
She's a whole vibe. Like, you just made my whole night. Let me tell you that. Like, I got a smile on my face now. No, I'm not trying to be weird, but you know, you just
Right.
you giving. You're a whole vibe.
Thank you.
So, where are you from originally?
Well, I was born in Massachusetts, and then I moved from Massachusetts when I was like 8 because I went on tour with Lion King. So
What?
yeah. So I was like, I stayed out there for a little bit, obviously, till I was like 8 years old. So
Yeah.
those were still baby years for me.
Yeah.
And then I went on tour for a year and a half. As soon as I left there, I went to New York, and I grew up in New York. So
Man,
Yeah.
that is amazing. Well, take us back. You said you was on tour with Lion King.
yeah.
How many kids can say that? I'll wait. None. Except for you. Man, how did that situation come about?
Well, my mom always like felt like I needed to do something because I was like super hyper. Like she even like took me to the doctor to see if something was wrong because it was like just too much. They were like, "She's fine," and I'm like, "Yeah,
She's
I'm
a
fine."
kid.
Right?" But I had a lot of energy, so people were just always telling her like, you know, you should put her in something. So she
Yes.
put me in a performing arts school. That was like an after school program, but it wasn't like your after school program for like daycare vibes. It was like we were going into boot camp and you were going to learn how to be a performer. So
That's amazing, though.
yeah, it was called Dream Studios in Massachusetts, and I went there like every day, and they had connections to like have kids audition for things, and like one of the main things that they had a connection with was Lion King, and I got scouted out there. They're like, I think you're ready, and I'm like, really? Like you had to be on your best behavior for like a whole year, like to show if you can, you know, be in shows, take
Yeah.
direction, all that stuff, and then. When I was 8 years old, which is the appropriate age to audition for Lion King, they sent me out to New York, and it was an open call. So it's like different when you don't have a manager or agent.
Right.
It's like you're standing outside in a long line, and it was 800 girls, and I went to audition in Harlem, and after like 4 rounds of callbacks, I got the part.
Whoa, congratulations. That is
Thank you.
major bragging rights. Yes, ma'am.
Thank you.
When your mom initially wanted to put you in performing arts school, were you against it?
No, not at all.
You was for it?
Yeah, it's actually funny because there's this one story when she put me in dance when I was 2. I had a recital, and when it was time to perform, she was like ready with the camera, like, okay, where is she? And I didn't come out till the last 10 seconds because I was shy. And
Yeah.
She saw me on the side, like, no, I don't want to go. And when I went out there in that last 10 seconds, I was like on fire. And after that, I was like, okay, I'm addicted.
That
Like, I
is
loved it.
amazing. And I talk about this all the time. As a mother, I'm a big advocate. As parents, we have to get our kids involved with stuff besides just going to school every day.
Right.
Because all they're going to do is come home and play video games or be on social media, and
Right.
that's it. Like, we have to get them involved in stuff. So that's amazing. Shout out to your mom, and
Yes.
that led you into what you're doing now, it sounds like.
It sure did. It definitely, like, I don't even know what else I could possibly do. Like, obviously, if I was, like, focused enough to stay in school and do, like, learn something else, maybe. But I'm, like, I can't even see myself, like, in a cubicle. Like, I can't focus. Like,
Me
I
neither.
literally can't focus in that world. I went to college for 1 semester, and I was like, I can't do this. I'm over here writing lyrics. I just can't.
I'm with you. I did about the same thing. I went to college for maybe a couple semesters, and I was just, you know what did it for me is I remember my first day I was in orientation, and the guy who was talking to us said, in life, it's not always about what you know, it's who you know. And I'm like, well, then why am I sitting here if it's not about what I know?
Right.
So I was like, I'm out of here, you know, because I was a new mom too. I had my son at 19 years old. So I was like, I'd rather be taking care of my son. Let me go work and then figure it out from there.
Right.
Because, you know, it's not for everybody. I'm not discouraging people from doing it by any means, but it's not for everybody.
Very true. Like, I even had to go to performing arts school in high school because my mom was like, you gonna get some good grades somehow. I'm like, okay, we'll do that then. Because I couldn't.
Well, and that's something that I am for, is if we can go to a school that is strictly for what we want to pursue, but going to college and you got to take all these extracurricular activity classes that have nothing to do with what you want to do, I think that's why people get discouraged.
Right.
You know, so it's like, let us just go to a school straight for what we want to do. So about what age did you start actively pursuing, like, you know, professionally pursuing music? Was it at 8 when you got accepted into the Lion King situation?
Well, you obviously have to sing there, so that was like professional.
Yeah.
But it wasn't like, I didn't see myself as like, oh, I'm a singer. I was just like, I'm a performer because I'm acting, dancing, I'm doing all these stunts on stage. So I'm not thinking like, oh, I'm just a singer. I think I started taking it really serious probably like 2 years ago. It was right before the pandemic.
Okay.
And I had some friends that were like always in the studio and they're like, oh, Madaí, you should come. And I'm like, okay. And I went in the studio. I was like, sound kind of good.
I'm a vibe.
I'm kind of liking this because I wasn't singing for so long. So I was just like, I didn't even think I wanted to be a singer. So that's why I was just like, okay, I'll go. And when I heard myself, I'm like, oh, I sound good. Like, I felt like I was kind of behind because I had friends who were singers and they never stopped. They were on social media pushing, posting.
Right.
So I'm like, okay, let me stay in my acting lane. This is what I really know. It's what I went to school for.
Yeah.
And when I went to the studio, I was like, okay, like, I actually can catch up and, you know, do this.
So a couple years ago, right before the pandemic, is when you put yourself in a professional setting in the studio. Would you say that's when you really were like, wow, I can really sing? Was that moment for you?
Yes, for sure, because the style of singing that I was doing before was Broadway, like very theatrical.
Yeah.
And obviously I'm like, yeah, that sounds good, but it's not the music I'm hearing on the radio. So when I went in there, I was like, wait, this could be something that people will like. Like, this is good. So, yeah.
That is amazing. So are you still actively pursuing acting as well?
So, yes and no. It's not as heavy as it was when I was, like, super focused on acting because I had a manager and I was getting sent acting auditions, like, every day, self-tapes. I got so tired of doing self-tapes, especially because I couldn't have my red hair. And I've been being this clean-cut girl since I was 8.
Yeah.
And I was ready to express myself.
Of course.
So I was like, I'm kind of over it. But now I do still do voiceovers. I get sent voiceover auditions. And I act on TikTok. I always show people that side of me. So I am acting. I just haven't been booking anything right now because I'm not really in it.
Yeah. Talk to us about doing voiceovers. I think that's really dope.
Thank you. Yeah. That came about. I don't even know how that came about. I got one audition to do a voiceover and I got it. And then I was like, okay, it's weird because what I got booked for is something that I literally do on a regular basis. Like, I naturally make different voices all the time.
Right.
So I was like, wait, this is a cool thing. And I was going through a stage of ugliness when I was like 15, you know, puberty, pimples, all these things. So I was not booking the commercials because they didn't want to see that on the screen. So I was like, you know what, maybe I'll just like be successful behind the screens. Like, I'll be Timmy Turner behind the TV.
Right.
So that's what made me take voiceovers more serious because I wasn't comfortable being in front of the camera anymore. And I took like one voiceover class just to understand that you should be talking like a musical because I was doing a lot of like cartoons for kids.
Yeah.
And I've been in like Nickelodeon cartoon shows, Nick Jr., stuff like that, and PBS Kids, Cartoon Network.
Girl, you've done a lot. Yeah. Yes, ma'am.
Thank you.
What is one of your favorite voices to do?
This one comes out all the time. It's like I don't know what voice this is. It's just kind of like, hey guys, I'm Kyle. I don't know. I haven't named it, but that's the name that it gave just now. But it's just, I don't know. It's kind of like a surfer dude.
I like
a workout guy.
Yes.
That's the one that people love on TikTok. Like, I always do that. I'm like, what's up, guys? All the time.
And that's what TikTok is great for, showing that side of you.
Right.
You know, what I've learned about TikTok, like if you're a musician, they don't really want to see your music.
They don't. They're like, okay, we heard this.
Yeah, we heard this. You know, we can go to the digital platforms. They want to see what else you have to offer.
Right.
So on there, are you doing like skits and stuff?
I recently just started doing a skit. I have like a partnership with this health product. It's
Yeah.
like, because I posted a video acting like a fitness trainer, and it was literally to just be funny. But since I go to the gym, I was like, I want people to see me to know that I can be like an influencer in the fitness world.
Absolutely.
Be on like Nike campaigns. So I was like,
course.
let me do this little like funny skit, and it starts off every time with, what's shaking, biggin? So when I did that, I had the intention on people seeing like, oh, let's send her fitness products. And then I got it. So now I do skits of being this workout rock star trainer. They call me my favorite rock star teacher. That's what they say.
That is so dope. And being the fact that you have longevity with an acting career, you can throw that into the mix.
Right.
You got the cool voice to go along with it.
Thank you.
You are a whole vibe. Oh, you the
Thank
whole
you.
package. So are you living out here in Atlanta now?
Yes, I am. I've been here for a year now.
Talk to us about it.
Well, I moved out here for my music career because in New York, when I was taking it serious, I was like giving underground vibes with like people who didn't know me, and it just wasn't going to the level. I'm like, no, we're not being under here. I need to go up there.
Yeah, of course.
And in New York, people are very like, we don't even like to tell each other where we got our food from, because it's like, you're not about to go steal my food at my favorite spot. So no one's going to put you on if you're an artist either, unless
Right.
you're like in the cliques. And plus my community in New York was actors. So it was like, I didn't know how to branch into that world to be connected to other artists.
Right, absolutely.
So I was like, I'm tired of it. We got to go to Atlanta because I heard it was Black Hollywood. So I'm coming. And I did. And literally like the first week I was out here, I was in writing camps, all these things. And I'm like, I knew this was going to happen. I didn't know what, but I had faith that if I came out here, my career would start, and it did.
I totally agree. Like, being in this city provides us with what we do within the entertainment industry, whether it's acting or music or film, whatever. It provides us with so many opportunities. Not only do we provide us with opportunities, but we can create our own opportunities.
Right. And that's what I've like learned since I was out here. Being on TikTok kind of like let me have my own freedom. I'm like, this is my stage.
Yeah.
And I had so much time on my hands because I just moved out here. I don't have friends, so I'm not doing anything.
Understood.
So I was like, I'm going to do my thing on the phone, because in New York, I just didn't have the space to do that. You know, everything's crammed there. So it was just like, out here, it was really fun to like express myself and put that platform out.
Is the family real supportive about you being out here?
Yeah, they really are. They've been supportive since day one, because everyone in my family is like, yeah, you're supposed to be doing this. So they're just like, you know, follow your heart and just stay consistent.
So how did you link up with that guy named Givenchy Royal?
Well, he was in the gym and I was going to the gym.
But of course.
Yeah, so I would pass him all the time, and he was like giving me good vibes. Like, he was just not weird. So I was just like, every time I see him, I was like, hi, and he's like, hey, and I was doing something I was supposed to be doing. I was bringing somebody, and I didn't have the membership for the next person. So he would make little comments to me, and I'm like, so I would kind of play with him a little bit. And
Why you
like,
snitching?
yeah, and then he's gonna come to me. He was like, you need to like, change your plan. I'm like, I thought we were cool. So we had this little like, banter type of relationship, and then I forgot. He just came up to me, and I don't even know. It was so weird. It happened so fast. I don't even know what happened, but he walked up to me, and we were just talking, and I was like, I do music, and everybody says they do music. So I was like trying to convince him, like, no, I actually do this. I know you hear this a lot, but this is really what I do. And he was like, interesting. I was like, no, you probably see my TikTok. Like, check it out. And I wanted to see his reaction. I said, stay right here. I want to see you watch my TikTok. And he's like, And I was like, yeah, I told you so. So after that, we just stayed connected because I kept going to the gym. And now it's like my best bud. Yeah.
We've known each other for a long time. The one thing that I could say about him is he really has like an eye and an ear for talent, because everybody that he works with that I've met is just so dope.
Facts.
So have you had the opportunity to work with anybody else that he's working with?
No, because this is like super fresh. Like this literally, I don't even know how long we've been friends, but it feels like forever. But it's really probably been like 2-3 weeks. So
okay.
We haven't worked with anyone else besides Supernaturals.
Shout out to the Supernaturals.
Yeah, Supernaturals was like the best experience. I was just last night. I'm like still excited. I'm like, are we going back? Did they say anything? Can we go back? Like, it was mad fun.
You're in great hands.
Thank you.
Seriously, like he and I've known each other since before I moved to Atlanta. I moved here in 2013. And like, he's one of the few people that I still associate myself and my brand with, because he's a good dude. So you're in good hands.
Thank you.
And I'm not just saying that because he's sitting right there. He really is. He's going to take good care of you. So now that you're here in Atlanta, you've been here for about a year now. What are some of the things that you want to do, maybe that you weren't already doing, that you want to start pursuing now that you're in Atlanta?
I gotta think, because I feel old, and I feel like I've done everything.
You've done a lot. I know, that's a hard question.
I really don't know.
Modeling?
I was gonna say that. I do want to model, but I don't know. Not really model. I don't necessarily see myself like, oh, doing runway, like for things like that.
Maybe magazines, you know, like, you know, a lot of brands just need photos. Or like, for example, you know, there's the brands, you know, a lot of them out there, Fashion Nova, we'll just throw that out there. They need models for their clothes and stuff, you know?
Like Instagram model, yeah, for sure. Because I'm thinking top model, and I'm like, I don't know if I have the long neck and the things that they need for those types of, you know, models. But like for Instagram, yeah, definitely.
Because I think also too, if you pursue something like that, that's going to take all your time, and you want to pursue other stuff, music, and you know, maybe still acting and stuff like that as well. Right. Being out here in Atlanta, would you say that you've learned more about, you know, what you do being out here? Has it helped you at all?
Yeah, for sure. Because when I was in New York just doing music, I didn't know a lick of the business. Like I'm just like, oh, I'm making songs. I didn't know anything that I needed to know. So as soon as I came out here, like I've been a sponge and absorbing everything. Like I feel like every time I have a conversation about music, I'm learning something. So,
absolutely.
Pretty much learning the business. I think that's the most important part, because like, okay, I have the music. Let's know what's going on.
You have to, as an artist, you know, even if you have somebody in your corner like a Givenchy Royal who understands this business inside and out and who's going to genuinely help you, you still have to know it for yourself.
Right. And that's my biggest thing. I want to be very alert and aware of what's happening.
Absolutely. Yeah. What would you say throughout your journey has been that biggest lesson that you learned?
Probably not to trust everyone. And I kind of don't get my hopes up, not in a sense where I don't have faith, but it's just like things are going to continuously pop up. Yeah. And until that right thing pops up, it's okay if things are just presenting themselves. And you're like, okay, that's not it. Okay, that's not it. Pretty much that, not running into like the first opportunity that I hear, because not everything is good. Right. So that's definitely something that I've learned.
That's facts. There's a lot of smoke and mirrors out here. Facts. I love Atlanta, but there's also a lot of scammers out here. Yeah. I think it's the scammer capital of the world. Right. Shout out to ATL. I love you, but bro, like I hear about so many artists out here who get taken advantage of. You know, they pay for this and pay for that, and people selling them dreams, and that really frustrates me because, you know, when they come to someone like me or like Givenchy or Knowledge who do good business, we catch the brunt of that because a lot of them will grill me about this, that, and the third. I'm like, oh my gosh, you must have been taken advantage of before. I could always tell when people are like that. So what's the most recent song that you put out?
I Can't Love You. It's actually my first single.
Okay.
So that song is doing pretty good right now, but I've put out like other things along with TikTok. I went viral for singing this Lil Uzi song, and then I turned it into a song. So TikTok's eating that up right now. They love that song. And yeah, I Can't Love You and You'll Get Over It.
So talk to us about I Can't Love You. Like, break that song down for us. What does it mean to you?
I Can't Love You. Well, it's a true story, of course. It means a lot to me, actually, because it's like everything that I wrote about, it was really simple. I didn't have like no crazy metaphors. I really spoke from what happened. I told a story. So in a sense of like my personal life, it hits home. But also in the creative side, I'm like, this is really a good story. Yeah. Like, it's giving me Tyler Perry movie when I hear this. Like, I see so many different things when I hear this song. And yeah, it's pretty straightforward. I can't love you, caught cheating, doing the most, took advantage of me, took me for granted, baby, be gone. So those are lyrics, yeah.
I love it. I actually, the last interview I did, we had a conversation similar talking about nowadays we do have to be like simple and straight to the point. Right. We are in an era where with what we do, it's the younger generation that's really tuned into what we have going on. And a lot of them have a short attention span.
Facts. I'm one of them.
Yeah, you know, like we can't be a rocket scientist with this. You just have to be like straightforward about it, you know, because that's what they want. They want it simple and to the point. Most definitely. So talk to us about your creative process with your music. You know, what's the vibe like when you're writing your music?
Well, recently it's been me and my friend Sincere, who's also an artist.
Okay.
And we've pretty much collabed on like everything since I Can't Love You. And for me, I'm more of like a melody person, so I'll like come up with like the vibe of it. Yeah. And then he's giving me the wordplay. And we're definitely going back and forth like, okay, I wouldn't say that. Okay, I would say this. And it's been really fun. That's what it's been like recently.
That's what you have to have, is somebody that's going to keep it all the way honest with you. Say, nope, not that, or you might want to change this up a little bit.
Honest. So, and that's what I really like, because I feel like I've been around a lot of people who tell me, oh, this is good, just because either they just don't know and they think everything that I do is good, or like they're afraid to upset me. But like since he's actually good and I know I'm good and I know he's good too, we can be honest and like, okay, that's not it.
Absolutely. I would rather someone hurt my feelings a little bit but be honest with me than try to make me feel good and lie to me.
Right. Because I'm like, you like it. No, you need to love it.
Tell me,
no,
it's a big
diff. Not good.
Big diff. So what else you got coming up?
What do I have coming up? Oh my gosh. I feel like this week has been kind of busy. So I'm like, kind of like, what's been happening? What do I have coming up? I'm just trying to put out more music.
Yeah.
That's like the biggest thing. I'm trying to grow a bigger fan base. So I plan on doing like a TikTok live concert.
Oh, yes, ma'am. Please let me know when you're going to do that so I can be tuned in. I love stuff like that.
Yeah, I just wanted to give them something more personable because they're like, people always ask me, like, when are you going on tour? And I'm like, not there yet, but I'll give you a concert on TikTok. So,
yes. Yeah. I'm all there for that because during the pandemic, you know, I was telling a lot of artists, I'm like, you need to do virtual performances, concerts, listening parties. I did some virtual listening parties because, you know, of course, people weren't really outside like that.
Right.
But I think even now that the pandemic is, you know, I guess it's out the way, still stuff like that is beautiful because now you're able to perform for the whole world. You do something virtually like that, people from everywhere, your fans from everywhere can tune in.
Right.
Yeah, so that's something that's in the works right now.
Yes.
What was your experience like working with the Supernaturals?
Supernatural. It's crazy. It was really surprising because I'm very picky and I was nervous that I wasn't going to like anything just because I've been in settings where people are playing things for me and I'm like, I don't like this, like going through a bunch of beats and I'm like, did y'all even hear my vibe? Like, did you really take the time or are you just trying to get a placement because I don't like anything?
Yeah.
So I was really, really nervous. And then when I went in there and I heard the first thing, I was pumping my chest. I was like, I'm feeling this. And then they played the next thing and I'm like, I like this. And I just felt like I kept saying, I like this.
Yes.
And then he even played a song that he wrote for me. And I'm like, what? This is what I would say. This is my key, everything. So I genuinely enjoyed myself when we started working on a record. And I'm like, I love it. Like, I want to go back.
That is amazing. When you find somebody that you catch that type of vibe with and it's organic, it's not forced, you want to work with them forever.
Facts. I was in my head like, where were they? How come I didn't know who they were? Like, I'm like, everyone needs to know.
Yeah,
like,
absolutely.
They're fire.
Yeah, they are. And they have such a dope vibe, too.
Facts.
Like, they're funny, you know?
Yes,
like
we were cracking up. There was this one moment where we were, like, laughing for, like, 10 minutes. I was like, guys, you want me to sing, but you keep telling me a joke.
You're like my cheeks hurt right now.
And every time I would sing, I was, like, busting out laughing again because they're trying not to laugh. And they're like, smirking. I'm like, I see you. So you can't tell me a joke.
But that's good, though, because it just, you catch that vibe, and now you want to go back and work again.
Yes.
Who are some of the other producers that you've worked with?
I've worked with Hero, the producer, like, me and him have been locked in for a long time.
Okay.
And he's amazing. So I have a few songs with him. I feel like that's probably the only one that I've been really consistent with. Everyone else has been like a one-time thing.
Right, understood.
Oh, shout out to producer Q and producer Mars. They produced I Can't Love You. So I worked with them. And yeah.
Dope. So who's engineering your music for you?
Well, since I'm still super, super fresh in what I've been doing, I kind of hopped around in different studios. I've been consistently in Loveworks Studios. They've been pretty good. And Carlo, he has engineered You'll Get Over It and I Can't Love You. He mixed that one, so he's dope.
Dope. And that's the thing, too. You'll find somebody that really understands your sound. And that's the most important thing. It's got to be somebody who's going to truly be involved, understand your sound, and produce that sound for you. Because if you sing, like, I think it's harder for an engineer to engineer a record for a vocalist versus someone who's a rapper. Because as a rapper, it's like kind of just cut and dry.
Let me tell you something. I had an experience with someone. I was like, oh, my God, you record? Can I please record something really quick?
Yeah.
Someone I met. And they never recorded a singer, but I didn't realize how difficult that would be. And
it's totally different.
It was a mess. We couldn't even really record it for real because I don't know the key. I naturally sing. I can't read sheet music. Yeah. So I'm like, you gotta find a key. I don't know. And it was hard because that person didn't know as well. And I was like, yo, like, this is really different. He's like, I never worked with a singer. I'm like, this is crazy. I thought you were gonna press record. Auto-tune on and we're good. And it didn't work like that.
No, absolutely. And for them to mix your vocals, that mixing session is probably 3 times as long as if they have a rapper in there.
Right.
You know, real quick. Would Rihanna be somebody that you would love to work with?
Yes. I feel like she's
Come
my
on,
mom.
Riri.
Like, we're both from the island to island ting. So I just feel as though it's the right way to go.
Listen, we're going to make sure she hears that. Come on, Givenchy Royal. Let's go. Get Rihanna on deck.
Please.
That would be dope. Do you, since you've been out here, have you done any shows, any performances?
Yeah, I actually performed at this club when my song came out. They did like a release party for me.
Okay.
So that was really dope. Totally forgot the name of it. And I performed at Loveworks. They had like a, what do you call this? When like other performers are performing.
Like a showcase?
Kind of like a showcase,
Yeah.
but it was, yeah, something like that. And
Yeah.
I performed there. Yeah, I think that was probably it, to be honest.
Is that something you enjoy doing?
Performing.
Being on that stage, performing music?
I'm still learning to love it because it's much different than like, 'cause,
Right.
like the style of singing that I'm doing is like, even just now, I'm not gonna lie, with the Diamonds performance, that was not my best. And singing in that style, you have to be precise.
Yeah.
And it feels like I'm not totally in love with the experience because I'm so focused on my vocals.
Right.
And I'm still learning to have fun while I'm doing it. 'Cause after I'm like, let me see the footage. I didn't like that note. So yeah.
Absolutely. We get into our head.
Yeah.
We overthink stuff. I think women are just really guilty of that. We overthink stuff because we want perfection with everything we do.
Yes.
So with that being said, you know, with the performances you've done, what are you doing to get yourself mentally prepared? You're already physically there. You work out, you're in shape, you look good, but mentally, what are you doing?
Just trying to keep faith and just know that God's gonna work it out for me, because like at home when I perform, I'm free and I sound like the way I want to sound, and then I notice that it's just different when I'm outside.
Of course.
So I'm just trying to I think practice. Like this right here is like, okay, this is not the Grammy, so you messed up right here, but you gonna do it right when it's time.
Right.
So that's pretty much it. I just use every like experience as like a practice.
I think a lot of artists are that way though, because when you're at home and no one's around, you're completely in your comfort zone.
Yeah.
Nobody's there to look at you and listen to you. You're just so in your comfort zone. But when you get in front of a crowd of people, them nerves kick in.
Sure do. And then it's like I'm here with TikTokers and they love to talk. So I'm like, oh my God.
Yeah, everybody has something to say.
Yeah.
It be the people who have the least going on that got the most to say. I'm just saying. That's the way it is. They be trolling. So it's safe to say that right now you're just really focusing on singles.
Yes.
Maybe at some point in time we might catch an EP from you or something.
Yes, I've been thinking about that. My biggest thing is that like I want to. I mean, people can argue this. They're like, "Madaí, you already know." And I'm like, no, I'm not known to the level where I want to be known. And I want to put out a lot of music, like an EP, when I feel like I'm going to get a really big audience.
Absolutely.
Like, I want everyone to hear it. Because if I make a song, I know it's fire, and I don't want it to just like be swept under the rug. And it's like, oh, they discovered a song 20 freaking years later. Like,
right.
And I know that's like a thing, but I'm trying to like prevent that.
No, I totally agree. I think you absolutely understand how this works. You know, put those singles out. Once you really catch that buzz with your music, that's when you focus on putting a project out. Doing it the right way. Anything else that you got coming up, you know, you want to let everybody know about?
Stay tuned for my TikToks because a lot of things are happening there. TikTok is my stage, so we're gonna have another performance pretty soon.
Yes.
And yeah, just more music. Like that's really the goal right now.
Amazing. So why don't you go ahead and tell everybody like your TikTok, Instagram, or whatever other platforms you're on?
Okay, so my Instagram is Madaí ChaKell, MADAICHAKELL, and you can literally type that up on any platform and you'll find me.
Is that your government name?
My first name is, my last name is like a little creation.
Okay.
Yeah. So Arthur Crafts, last name.
There you go. Anybody that you want to show some love to, give a shout out to?
I want to shout out everybody that I love. My mom, my family, my grandma, my grandpa, my dad, my little sister. She records all my TikToks.
Okay.
She is the videographer behind everything.
Oh,
so
that's
shout out to you,
dope.
Trey. And everyone that's like helped me get here because I couldn't have done it without you. Yeah.
We got, it's Madaí
ChaKell.
Madaí, see, I had it backwards. Madaí Chanel.
Madaí ChaKell.
ChaKell.
I was about to mess up my own name. I'm like, wait.
In the building, Industry's Most Wanted. Let everybody know what makes you the Industry's Most Wanted.
Ooh, I was practicing this because I went on your page and I was like, I gotta learn this. I was basically gonna say that you can call me for whatever you need. You need an actress? I'm there. Oh, you need a cartoon? I'm there. You need a world tour? I'm there. You need a TV host? I'm there. I literally will be anything you want me to be, and I can be it. And I feel like that's why I'm the most wanted, because you can only go to that person for that thing. You can come to me for everything. Whole department.
I love love your energy.
Thank you.
It's like you're a vibe. Like you're the type of person I would just want to be around all the time.
Thanks.
Seriously, because like the older I get, the less I like people. You know, like I become very introverted. I get social anxiety when I have to be around a bunch of people that I don't know.
Right.
You're the type of person I'd be like, oh, we pulling up? Okay, cool, let's
you
go.
You can feel safe. They have that friend. That's with you. I'm not going to leave you because I'm not that friend.
Exactly.
Inviting me places and you talking to the next friend. You need to talk only to me.
Just you and I.
Yeah.
Nobody else can come. It's only us.
Right.
Absolutely. Well, thank you so much for being here.
Thank you. Thank you for having me. This
Absolutely.
was really fun.
Is there anything else that you want to let everybody know about before we get up out of here?
No, but I love life, and I want you to love life too. And I just feel like if you put your mind to it, you can do anything. I quit my job, and I was broke for so long, and then now I'm like popping. So you can do it. Yeah.
There you go. That's a great piece of advice. Absolutely. You have to pursue your passion.
Right.
You know, absolutely. And learn what your purpose is. Ain't that right, Givenchy? We up out of here, you guys.